Alright, so just took this out of the packaging a little bit. You got the fuse holder right here. It pops off pretty easily. It's got a 100 amp. It's a mini fuse. One thing to note, it doesn't come with the Allen tool for you to unscrew these, which kind of sucks. I mean, it's a kit, so you'd figure they would try to give you almost every piece you need, but I mean, I would say they didn't. Ground, quite thick. I mean, this is supposed to be 4 gauge, so I mean, it's not the thickest, but it's good for what I'm doing. Yeah, it comes with everything except for the tool, obviously, and does not come with RCAs. So if you were to buy this, you can always buy like NVX RCAs, or well, actually I just bought Rockford Fosgate because I heard they're good quality and they were only like $10 for the set. So to start off with, we're actually going to disconnect the negative battery terminal really quick here. What we're going to do now is start moving the panels in order for me to run my cables relatively cleanly. With the way I had them before, you actually couldn't see a single thing unless you went to the trunk, which was all nasty, but that's because I was a temporary thing. So we'll fix it all this time. So we'll start with the back panel. For this car, you got the Kia logo right down here. All I have to do is take a little pry tool like this. There should be clips on each side. Let's kind of lift it up just a little bit. All right, and then this should just all come off. Now I can't really get it all the way off, I don't think. Oh, I could, but the issue is the fact that there's actually a little screw right over here. Best way for us to run the power cables, at least for this car, is going to be with a hanger. I'm going to straighten it out just a little bit more, and then we're going to tape it to it. I'll show you in just a second here. Just literally wrapped about 4 or 5 inches worth of it. So make sure you get the top right here, so that when it goes through the firewall or whatever grommet you're going through, it's not going to get tangled or stuck or anything. That right there, it's a wiring loom that goes through to the engine bay. I don't know if it's exactly the firewall, but either way we're going to run through that. It's rubber, so it goes through like nothing. It's pretty much like the easiest thing you can possibly do in this car, honestly. Kind of surprised by that. My last car was a bitch to get through. Also was a Kia. And then just kind of feed as much as you can on this end. Finally got it through. Did not want to, I think it's because it's a lot thicker. But I mean, this is 4 gauge and it fit. So I'm just gonna pull it enough so I have plenty of slack to just take off the tape. And then now we're gonna start running the wires along the door panels. Just the easiest way that I could figure how to do this without taking off every single panel in the car, to get a hanger once again. Tape the other end of it obviously now to it. Now if you pay attention, there is a slight gap between the factory wiring loom and the door. So that's where I started running my RCAs, my remote wire, everything. So now, take my hanger, my wire, and just start pushing it through. Should be really easy actually. Back seat again. I pulled all the extra wire from up there all the way back up to here. I mean, it looks like we have a good, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet left for sure. So like I said, I'm just kind of running along the factory loom, make it a little bit easier. And then I'm gonna go underneath the seat over here and pull it through. There's actually quite a bit of space behind my seats. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see, I know. And my amp, I know everyone's probably gonna be mad about it, but my amp is hooked up right behind my sub. This works out for me. Pull the cable through. I got it underneath the seat. It comes out right over here. So what I'll actually do now is I'm going to start to put the panels back on. Engine bay kind of ran them underneath this panel. They come out right over here, and then I just kind of follow along the loom again, like I said. So this is all done right here, so I'm going to put the cover back on. I'm not sure it's like every single step of the process. It's honestly, after this point, it's pretty easy. What we're gonna do though is hook up the amplifier. We're gonna hook up the speaker wire, everything like that. After that, turn off your negative battery terminal, and then I'll show you guys how to run the fuse, which is quite simple. The only thing that's hard about it is kind of finding a spot to put it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else should be done by now. I mean, you have all your power wire ran. Your ground should be ran already. Well, at least in my case it is. It's really simple. Just find it. If you find like a factory bolt, factory ground, it makes it really easy. If you didn't like me, scratch off the paint, screw in 3 screws. I mean, that's pretty much it. Just connect to the negative battery terminal so I can start working on the positive right here. It's actually really easy. You just literally cut the wire in half, strip both ends of it. We're gonna loosen up the fuse. I thought my completely just make it a little bit easier on me. And then just like this side, I'm gonna tighten down as much as I can. And then I'm gonna put the cover back on, and then I'm gonna most likely double stick it behind one of these, like one of these panels, just because that's the easiest way to do it, because I don't want to screw anything in, just, you know, make holes unnecessarily, you know. Alright, so we got it all installed. It was actually a little bit more than I thought, unfortunately, because the NVX wiring kit is a lot different than the other one I had. I actually had a cut, hopefully you guys can see that, through the positive cover. So everything looks okay, I think. Got it all wired up. Obviously the car is on. I'm sure you can hear it also. Not that this really changed, but the subs I got. Like I said, the wiring isn't very pretty. I'll change it probably in about a week or two. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do split loom and just kind of make it look a little cleaner than what it did before. Obviously you guys can tell I have the factory radio still. What I used was a, I think the company's called PAC, P-A-C, but it's an inline converter. Actually, it runs, let's see if you guys can see that. It's right there on the side of my fuse box. But I had it, the first time I did my radio, I took apart everything, pretty much. And I got it all wired in. How to use speaker wire, actually, because my original plan was for me to run my amplifier underneath my seat. But my seats are a lot thicker than I thought, so I couldn't run my amp that way. So I ordered 10-foot RCA cables, which would have been more than enough if I was running it to my, you know, to my floor, like right here where I'm sitting. But unfortunately, I can't. So I had to run speaker wire from behind the radio all the way over to over here, and then I ran the RCAs down underneath. Just barely made it. So let's see how the radio sounds. So overall, you know, I think I did a good job with it. I just have to, like I said, just change up the back. Sounds a lot better than what I used to have. Same exact sub, same amp, everything like that, but I had a shitty ass wiring kit. It was from my old subs, which were about 400 watts RMS. Actually, it wasn't even 400 really. It's probably about 250, 300 to be honest. But they said it was like a 1,000 watt system. It really wasn't. There's no way. But it had, I think, it said 8 gauge. It was more like 10 gauge, if we're being honest. So wiring makes like the biggest difference when it comes to your sound, honestly. If you spend the money, I mean, for the kit that I have right here, I think it's $50 on Amazon right now with Amazon Prime too, which I didn't get, unfortunately. So I had to wait fucking like a week for this damn thing to come in from some $60 and get a good wiring kit. I mean, you'll regret not doing it after, you know. See you guys later.